Hi and welcome back to yet another video, and today we are going to talk about what is Azure Machine Learning and your first project in the Azure Machine Learning Studio coming up. Alright, let's get into the video. So before I actually start talking about Azure Machine Learning, it's 10:10 now. It's Friday today. I'm shooting at night 10:10 and I need to edit this video, upload it, create thumbnail. I've been able to do this all because of your love and support. So keep supporting me, keep loving me, and I'll keep on bringing such new videos every week, and to be specific, 3 days a week. Okay, now let's get into the video. So what is Azure Machine Learning Studio? So if you'll just look at the words, what is Azure? Azure is Microsoft Cloud Computing Platform. Machine learning, I believe you do know what is machine learning. Studio is a place that is quite collaborative, which collaborates the functionalities of Azure and machine learning. So Azure Machine Learning Studio is an online IDE, is a sort of online IDE where you can run machine learning predictive models. Now this is actually a visual tool. What you need to do is whatever functionalities you need, there are some modules you drag and drop on the canvas, connect the modules with the other modules, and then create the entire model or the process. It's quite easy to get started. It has a lot potential. Usually this Azure Machine Learning Studio is used in the enterprise field. I would suggest you to watch this video till the end and understand the ecosystem and the how experiments are made in Azure Machine Learning Studio. But if you are willing to start machine learning, I will not suggest you to get started with Azure Machine Learning, because it involves most of the part as drag and drop. So suppose if you want to use linear regression, what you would do is search for linear regression module, drag and drop, connect with a database, and so on. But you do not actually, if you do not have the knowledge how linear regression works, then Azure Machine Learning is totally useless for you. So before you get into the Azure Machine Learning Studio, make sure that you know the basics algorithms of machine learning, and then get into the Azure Machine Learning Studio. But please watch this video till the end. Alright, so make sure you have internet connection. Of course you have internet connection, you're watching my video. Make sure you are on laptop so that you can perform while I do, and let's get into the demo.
Alright, so the first thing that we need to do is to go on Google and search for Azure ML Studio, and the first link that you get, that is studio.azureml.net. Click on it. So it will navigate you to the home page of Azure Machine Learning Studio. Now what you need to do is sign in on this platform. On the top right, you will get an option for sign in. I've already done it. So what I'll do now, after sign in, you will land directly on the Azure Machine Learning Studio. But since I've already logged in, what I need to do, on the top left, I need to click on this hamburger menu, click on this drop down of Azure Machine Learning, and go to the studio. But if you go and log in from here, that is sign in for the first time, it will directly take you to the studio. So I have clicked on studio. It's loading. All right, you see, this is your Azure Machine Learning Studio. Do not worry, I'll explain you each and everything. Now my view and your view may be different because I have all these experiments. This section may be blank in your case. So let us look at the top left. So what is a project? Project is actually a collection of experiments, web services, notebook, datasets, trained model. It is actually an entire ecosystem that may contain different type of experiments and notebooks, or maybe datasets that talks about a certain problem. Now let's come on to the experiment. Now experiment is actually a place where you create the model for your problem. It now experiment may also have certain data sets. You may create web services in experiment. This demo is more specifically only about the experiments. We're also going to work on data sets, but we're going to spend most of our time working on the experiments. Web services, Now web services, if you click here, you'll find all the web services that you have created in your experiments. Whether what are web services, they're nothing else but they help you. These all the models that you have trained models that you have created. They will help you generate the APIs, and then you can access it through other applications. What is notebook? Notebook is nothing other than your Jupyter notebook that you work on Spider. It is a notebook that works online. If I've just clicked it, it's exactly very same, or I should say it's the same. The only difference is that this Jupyter works on the cloud. You can see the extension at the bars, at the address bars. It says .ipyb. Now you see this is the exactly same Jupyter. At the top it says powered by Azure Machine Learning Studio. You can save it and share it with your friends. Let's come back on data sets. Now, when we work offline, that may be on Spider or maybe any other IDE of your choice, what we do is we download the data set from the internet or maybe some other way, and then we access it. But Azure Machine Learning Studio is a great place. You may not have this view because it might be empty in your case. So if you click on the samples, you'll find many and almost all type of data sets that you can work on. So you need not upload the data sets, you can use it the one that is already present. I can see one of couple of one that are very famous is the breast cancer features and the breast cancer info. Now the trained models are the one that are going to it will have all the trained models that you have created. You can actually save it and view it over here. Settings is the last one that talks about your workspace name, what is the storage that you have, if you have shared it with some other guys and all. Now also to make sure that Azure Machine Learning is free to use for some limit, but if you want to take it to the enterprise level, and then you'll have to pay a certain amount. Now, one more thing at the end is you have this new button at the bottom left, right? So you need to make sure that that you treat this new button as your Windows Start button. Now we're also going to do that. We're going to click on new, and start with the blank experiment. On the left, I have selected the experiment, and from here I'll select the blank experiment and I'll search for. Now you see what you get is the on the left you have all the models that you have, all the modules, sorry, that you want to use. In the center, this is your experiment canvas. You actually drop your modules from here to here, and once you have dropped those modules, on the right you can view their properties and change. Also the top, see this experiment says experiment created on 2/8 2019. What I'll do is I'll change it to linear regression YouTube, right? So the first thing that we need to do is of course to get the data. Now the data that we are going to use is the automobile price data. You see under the samples I have the automobile price data. I'll just click on it, drag and drop. Now what I need to do, you see this node over here, I'll right click on it, click on visualize, and then I can actually view the data. Okay, you see I have some sibling, normalized losses, make, fuel, aspiration, length, width, height, curve. Now this has all the details of the automobiles, and at the end we have the price. So our task is to train our model and actually predict what should be the exact price. And for that uh, model, as I've already said, we are going to use linear regression. After this, the second step is going to be to select the columns. Now, of course, we are not going to work on entire columns in the data set. We need to select certain some certain columns. So on the left, we'll come once again, and in the search tab, we'll write select column, and we'll get select column in dataset. Again, I'll click on it, drag and drop. Now what I need to do, the output node of the automobile price data, I need to click on it and connect it to the input node of the select column. Now you see it says the select column in dataset will show you a red exclamation mark. I click on it, go to the properties at the right, click on the launch column selector. Now once I click on the launch column selector, what I can do, I'll go Now you have two options, either you can go with by name or with rules. I'll go with rules, and it says begin with. Now begin with, I want no columns to be selected, and then I want to include column names, and here I need to specify the column names. So I actually know which columns to take. It is make, body style, wheelbase. You can take of your choice, make, body style, wheelbase, then engine size, horsepower, peak RPM, then comes our highway, MPG, and of course we need to take price also, because it is what we are going to predict, right? So why is price is going to be there, that's for sure. So after this we are going to click at the bottom, that is tick. That's done. Now see, at the bottom we have something that says run. Okay, I'm going to click on this run. We have two options, run or run selected. I'll just go with the run. Now it's loading. Okay, this might take some time. You see at the top we have, okay, it finished running, and now see the module that got executed. It has blue, sorry, green tick, right? So I'll just will do right click on the node, output node, click on visualize, and now we have only 8 columns. See, make, body style, wheelbase, engine size, horsepower, peak RPM, highway MPG, and price. Okay, now we have selected the column, but there are possibilities that we might also have some missing values. Let us look at the data once again. It says we have 205 rows, which means we have 205 data of the automobile. Let's try to clean the data. What we'll do, I will go to the first tab, click on clean, and click on clean missing data. Like once again, I'll just connect these two modules, and at the left of the clean missing data properties, I'll go down and say in the clean mode, I click on the drop down and select remove entire row. So wherever in my data set there's any missing value, what I'll do, I'll just move the entire row. After that, just click on run selected. That's all I need to take care of. You do not worry about all these values. Just click on run selected once again. Processing. Right, now you have two options to view. Both of them will work perfectly fine. You can just right click on it, click on visualize. Now see, we have 199 rows. We earlier had 203. Oh, I don't remember, it was something like 200 and something. Now we have 199 rows, which means we have lost a couple of not couple of few number of rows that had missing column. Now what should be the next step? We have the data, the data is quite prepared. Now we need to split the data for the training and test. And at the top left in the search tab, I'll search for split, drag and drop the split data module, and connect any output port of clean missing data to the input port of split data. Now split data module is selected. What I need to take care at the properties is fraction of rows in the first output data set. So whatever fraction that I'll add here, it will come in the port 1 of the split data. If say suppose I write 0.75, so this is going to get, port number 1 is going to get 75% of the data, and this will work as our training data. I'll keep it 0.75 and run it once again. Now, what should be the output? The port 1 should have 75% of the data, whereas port 2 should have 25% of the data. Let me right click on it, click on visualize. We total had 199 rows. You see, the port 1 has 149, and the port 2 must, or the, I should say node 2 more specifically, it has 50 rows. What should the next step? We have the data, we selected the data columns from the data set, we clean the data set, we split it the data. Now our next task is to look for the algorithms, and the algorithm that we are going to use is the linear regression algorithm. I search the linear regression, I'll drag and drop. Very simple. Now you see this linear regression does not has any input node, so I'll keep it the over here. I'll keep it somewhere over here. Okay, I'll keep it somewhere over here. Now our next task is to train our model. Okay, because we have the data, we have the algorithm. Now we need to train the model. At the top left in the search bar, we again go for train model. We search for train model, drag and drop. Now this train model has two input nodes. The first one is going to of course take the algorithms, and the second one is going to take the first node of the split data that has 75% of the data. Now, but even after selecting the train model, it shows an exclamation mark that says value required. While it is clicked, I'll go on the properties search, click on the launch column selector, and in the by name, I'll click on price and press this arrow and bring it here. Why did we did so? Because by this time we didn't tell our model that what we want to predict. Here we are telling our model that we want to predict the price. I click on tick mark, it's done. The last thing that is left now is to, if I'm not wrong, it should be score model. The score model is the one that is going to get the output from the trained model, and we are going to pass the test data so that we get the final predicted values. So the score model left node, left in first input node, I'm going to connect it to the trained model, and the second mode is going to get the 25% data from the split data. Now we are almost done. We need to click on run. It might take some time. We're almost done with the code. There's nothing else to do, just to right click and visualize. Just stay tuned. It is running, like it will take. It's almost done. It's processing. So all the modules are done. They'll get the green tick. Yes, we are done. Now I'll click on the score model output mode, right click on it, click on visualize, and you see I now have 9 columns. We have started with only 8 columns, which means we now have one extra column. Let us go till the back, and all right, so hmm, maybe this has a quite different data. Now you see we had the price of 5,195, but our model says the price should be 8,860 scored label. The one that has price of 16,925, it should be 20,000. The one that is for 5,500, it is 5,726. All right, so this is quite a fair price. The one with 17,075 is 16,097, not bad. The one with 34 is with 36, acceptable. So probably you can try with some other algorithm, some other percentage of the training and testing data, and then you might get some better results. So this was a very quick demo of the Azure Machine Learning Studio. There's a lot more to explore. As you can see at the bottom, it also has set up web services, save as, publish to gallery. There's a lot more to learn, and I know I have been speaking very fast. Thank you so much if you have watched till here, and let's continue.
So it took a lot of tasks. It took us a long time, but to be very frank, it wasn't a long time because we didn't write even a single line of code. We used linear regression model, we used the automobile price prediction data, we splitted the data, we trained the data, we passed it with the predictive analysis, and we got these code results. This didn't took us any long time, and there's a lot more functionalities. As you saw, you could also develop the web services, deploy the model, and use the APIs. So there's a lot more to explore in Azure Machine Learning Studio. Hope this video helped you to get a little glimpse on how you can get started with Azure Machine Learning Studio. I highly encourage you to go to the internet and watch some many other different resources. that's all from this video. It has already been gone a little long. This video is a little long. That's all from my side in this video. I upload videos on every Monday, Wednesday and Friday. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next video.